Welcome back to the Dish Pit Podcast. All my hair is gone. I'm your host, Jay Fandango.
And I'm your co-host, Mikey Miguel. And all my hair is still here, actually.
Yeah, you can rock the ponytail. I unfortunately don't have the hair for it. I don't think.
Let me bust this.
I think if I was gonna go like long hair, I'd have to go like slick back long hair or something, or like something a little more tame.
Bust this bad boy out like Howard Stern over here.
I think your hair is longer than Howard Stern's,
It is,
right?
like currently.
I think he has like short hair right now.
Yeah, no, back in Howard's day, he
used to have long hair.
Oh yeah, like this.
Right.
Hey everybody, it's Howard Stern.
You may notice that in addition to Chocolate Daddy this week, Mark isn't here. He should be coming. He's just running late. Priorities. He had to get his hair. He got his hair cut today too, I think.
Twice.
Yeah, he said he had 2 hair appointments. I don't know if like one was for his maybe one was for like his facial hair, whatever little facial hair he has.
That's probably what he means
and then
by
one was for his
chopped.
hair. Yeah, maybe. I asked him. I was like, "What's a?" He said, "I'm getting my hair cut and a chop." I'm like, "What the fuck is a chop? Isn't that just a hair? You're getting a double haircut, or?"
I was like,
maybe he's getting a haircut and then it done or something. I don't know.
He does have a lot of hair.
Yeah, I mean, his hair's not very long right now.
Yeah, it's springy though. But we're kicking it old school until he gets here.
Right, just the two of us.
How it started,
Right.
Based on us wanting to talk shit about restaurants, which we don't have much to talk about for restaurants right now.
Yeah, we're currently in between jobs.
Yeah.
You got the new place, BB's, right?
I do have a new place, I have a new home. Thank you for my new home.
Yeah, I'll probably end up somewhere.
Yep.
Or maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just be in the new, maybe I just won't have a job. That's my thing.
That'd be awesome to just not have a job and not do anything.
I couldn't not have a job and not do anything. I'd be, if I was to not have a job, I'd be here every day cleaning. I don't have a job right now, but I could be cleaning more. But I'd be cleaning every day. I'd be the maid. I'd do y'all's laundry.
I would literally have to do something to contribute, right? You got to do something to contribute.
I'd be like the maid.
Yeah, I feel
you on that. Make breakfast, lunch, dinner. I'll pack you lunches.
You're knocking on our doors.
You hungry?
Guys, breakfast is ready.
Exactly. I kind of do that already.
Yeah, you gotta do that.
Breakfast. I usually do dinner.
Yeah, you'd be like, hey, dinner's ready.
I would like to be the type of person who cooks breakfast every day. I enjoy it. The ritual of cooking breakfast and eating it and actually starting your day off right with a nice breakfast. I just never...
But you always cook too much. Not you in general, but anybody.
Right. Yeah.
It's hard to cook for one person.
Well, exactly. But usually, I've had roommates for most of my adulthood life, so I would have I cook for everyone. I'm not that I've lived with people who would just cook for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
That must be Mark. We got a guard dog.
Oh, we got a guard dog. Nymeria, chill.
It
is.
As Mark, I've lived with roommate. Oh, damn. Pootie tank.
I have a smell, I know. There you go.
You don't even look the same, bro.
Yeah.
This is the first time I met you. This how your hair was actually.
That's crazy. You just got cut too the last time.
Oh yeah.
It is the first time
I got my
we
hair
met
cut
you.
too. Yeah.
I was wondering if you were gonna go back to that.
So when you meant
We literally
haircut
just
and
started.
a chop, it means what were the 2 hair appointments for?
Yeah.
All right, so my hairstylist braids me,
Nymeria.
like you see right now. But my barber lines me up and does my mustache and shaves me and stuff. So it's
We were saying facial hair. I should have. She didn't touch my beard, but I kind of wish she had.
I was wondering. I remember Al was like, "Did you want Because I was talking about Riff Raff with the mullet and how he does zigzags in his beard.
That's
I was
ridiculous.
Like, you should do a lightning bolt.
I'm not doing that.
You should have definitely do the lightning
I'm not
bolt,
doing
bro.
that. See, the problem with my beard, in my opinion, is I don't think I have a weak chin, but I don't have a strong chin. So it doesn't. I don't know. Maybe I would probably need this to grow out more, on the cheeks. So I would probably put it right here, but I wouldn't do a lightning bolt. Maybe
You just tell him, hey, line me up.
like a middle
Get
finger.
like a fade.
Yeah.
Fade me up.
I should start taking better care of my beard.
Bro, if I said if I had a beard, y'all, It would be completely. I'd be different.
Man, I keep it like this, and I get compliments on it wherever I like.
I mean,
like,
I do
get
too.
from like
That's
dudes.
why
and,
I just hate my beard.
yeah, dudes and shit too. And, like, I don't hate it. I just think it could be better. But every time I walk around, and be like, "Hey, man, that's fucking nice beard, bro."
I got
You're
like a bald patch, not a bald patch, but like a thin area right here.
Yeah, I'm jealous all the time.
I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna keep it as long as I don't need to not have it for work or something.
Right. I mean, it's people have had beards forever. Like that's one thing. I worked at a job where the general manager was like, just keep your beard trimmed up and you're good. And then the owner was like, you gotta shave that beard, man. I don't think I've ever worked a place that was like, hey, you can't have that beard.
Yeah, if I had a beard, I'd be an R&B singer. I'd literally be turning circles, singing in the
You
rain.
already look like an R&B singer currently.
You look like an R&B singer right now.
That's what I need, though. I need the beard.
That's all you're missing.
Women have to want to take me serious, but they're like,
You're
he's
lacking,
got
bro.
the beard.
See, so when I was a teenager, it actually sucked because I had like acne where my beard was gonna be. Like I would like break out on like the side of my jaw and stuff, and I'm like, why the fuck is it happening here? And then eventually my facial hair started growing, and I'm like, oh,
Ooh, that's what it was.
gross.
Did you see the was it the Mariners fight?
I did.
The whole team stormed the field.
Oh man, there were
Bruh.
punches. 8 guys got ejected, man. It was like
It looked like they pummeled.
It was
one of the
a
umpires,
hockey
too.
game, right? Oh, an
No,
umpire.
it's a
So
baseball game.
Baseball. Okay.
They dropped the Stanley Cup and dented it.
They do that every. They do that every
what
year.
happened? They do that every year.
Yeah,
were
they
so
get
turned
dented.
up.
They get fucking shit.
Someone
Gronkowski.
shoot the cup.
Rob Gronkowski dented the fucking Super Bowl trophy one year because he was like fucking around with it and just like drops it, and he
Spain
had to
did the
pay.
same thing, too.
He had to pay for a new one. So he has the dented trophy in his like trophy case because they
Wow.
let him keep it. They're like,
Yeah, if you pay for it, you break it, you buy it.
yeah, you bought it. The other one sits in New
Safe,
England.
keep it.
And then Tom Brady, everybody thought Tom Brady was going to do the same thing when he threw the trophy from one boat to another during the parade. Or they didn't, it was Tampa Bay, so they had a parade on boats, and they were all getting fucking hammered in these boats with the trophy. And then Tom, like, throws it across the water to another boat, and a guy catches it.
It
with
was a
one hand.
viral moment. It was one of those things where it's like, yeah, this guy doesn't miss.
He's the GOAT.
Like he's always on target. Yeah, that was pretty.
I'm glad you made it, Mark.
Yeah, I try to give a heads up because when I'm working on other people's schedule, I know they don't try to move. So I was like, man,
No,
let me throw
We
it out
did
there.
start early, so
Word.
I've just been trying to be more like less procrastinative.
Into the swing of things. Nah, I like getting into a groove, like setting it and being like, look, man, I gotta do something. Y'all up on Obi-Wan?
Yeah, we finished it.
How
Yeah,
awesome
so Obi-Wan
it
was good. It wasn't as good as I'd hoped
Really?
because the beginning kind of dragged, in my opinion.
Without
I
that
think
sword
it's the,
fight.
here's the
Yeah.
problem with the way Disney currently like formulates their shows, Marvel and Star Wars alike. There's 6 episodes is not enough. You need 8, at least 8. I think 2 more episodes would have made, because the first 3 it almost felt like they were just like trying to get to that end point.
I agree with you, but here's my argument against that. From a production standpoint, I bet you Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni thought it needs 8 episodes too. But how hard is it from their end to fill each of them with sufficient content to where you saw how all the trolls were on each episode, and they all, I mean, yeah, the beginning kind of dragged on it got to the point. That's why you needed the first 2 episodes to be dropped, because you had to see episode 2 to allow episode 1 to happen.
Maybe 2 more episodes wouldn't
like,
be what I'm looking for.
To get a lot of like efficient content where people are going to be like, that was a bullshit episode. They shouldn't have that. Like the frog episode or the ice planet episode in The Mandalorian.
Is that
right?
like a
But I
writer's
remember
thing?
that episode. I don't remember any of... The only thing I remember about the beginning of Kenobi is the Owen scene. Well, now that I'm thinking back on it, but I like immediately to my mind the Owen scene with Reva, and then the chase scene with Leia, which was kind of corny, and then
But that was in episode 2.
I know that's all I remember.
Episode 1, I remember when the Inquisitors showed up and they
That's what I was
chased the
saying.
fucking Jedi out, and then him meeting Obi-Wan and Obi-Wan being like, go somewhere else, you know, like episode 1 wants you to see how decrepit and broken Obi-Wan actually is.
I didn't think episode 1 was bad.
He's a meat
Question.
cutter.
I think like 2 and 3 is where I started to fall off.
George Lucas, Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau. They're like the director, producer, writer.
They're all like working together to make it.
All right, so George
There's a bunch
Lucas
of
is
different
just the art, you know, the art.
I think he's like a consultant.
He's like a consultant.
Okay.
But it's Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau heading this.
But there's also a bunch of other directors who do different episodes.
They have directors.
Yeah.
They write. They help write the story.
And that's what I'm wondering. Like for TV shows, they're writers for 30 Rock. Is it the same writers for Star Wars, or are they?
Honestly, it does seem like
The same writers.
It does seem like they all have at least worked on Star Wars in some capacity at one point or another. Like Chloe, the chick who made Rogue One, she directed an episode of Obi-Wan.
Several actually.
Oh, like 2 or 3, right?
Yeah.
But there's and it's like Boardwalk Empire. Every episode of Boardwalk Empire is not directed by the same person.
Yeah.
That's how you need to have, especially if the show is going for multiple seasons or multiple episodes. You need to have tone shifts and different
There's
directors
A story
offer
and
that.
B story.
It creates it creates a palette where then you can just look at it from a whole and be like, we liked the way it went with this direction with this director, you know, like let's get more of this.
I thought
type of
episode
deal.
5 of Obi-Wan was banging. It was like the best episode by far.
Episode 5 right before the end.
Like,
Yeah.
And then episode 6 is a very close second because of that final fight.
That
and then
final
the moment.
fight where you get to see like
Yeah.
Obi-Wan finally like, all right, I'm gonna be back with the Force, like,
Right.
and then you can see him use Form 4, like you can actually see Vader
Right.
fight like Vader.
We've talked about this for years, and this is one thing I really want to do with y'all. Because now that they're all done, we have our shows, we have the chronological order in which, the timeline we can follow.
Mm-hmm.
I want to watch all the Star Wars with y'all.
Really?
Because they're all on Disney. Well,
They are.
No, they all are on
in
there.
chronological order.
They
And
are.
my friend who's never seen Star Wars.
So are you trying to watch them in chronological order?
Yeah. And he's never seen Star Wars, and he's like, bro, I can't believe I haven't watched this. I have to reevaluate my top movie list. He's saying all this stuff, and I'm
They're
like,
amazing.
bro.
Yeah, they're great movies.
He watched Obi-Wan and then was turned.
He's finally on New Hope. He finished Rogue One last night. He's on New Hope.
Oh,
and I
he's
was like,
fucking-
bro.
Oh, so he's only watched the prequels. He doesn't even know that they potentially get better.
I was like, bro.
He might like the prequels more though because he's a newbie.
Exactly.
But the because I was raised on the prequels, but I still like the original movies. Nothing compares to them.
The not just that, and from somebody who grew up on the originals, I love the prequels because they complete the story for me.
Thank you. Anakin's
Because
births.
like and they
births
did it like I wasn't one of those hardcore. I hate this, you know, the acting and da 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 da, like the critiques, how they destroyed the characters, you know, like Natalie Portman came out of that shit alive. She was really young in her career.
Forget about Natalie Portman.
But-
The kid who played Anakin,
Destroyed.
he almost killed himself.
Almost killed himself.
Well, at least it seemed like he probably was thinking about it
That's what I'm
because
saying. Is like the troll, like
he never wanted to act again after that.
yeah, and there was no social media then too. Imagine
Fuck.
if there was a fucking Twitter back then.
Well, and
Like-
this is what I was trying to explain to him. Put into terms of understanding for him. When you say greatest story ever told, you compare other stories to, and you're like, this sucks compared to this. Star Wars is the greatest story ever told. It's been told over 40, 50 years?
Yeah, it's going on 50. What makes the prequels also good too is that they're written and directed by George Lucas, so it's
One
his
of the greatest stories ever told.
It's
I
his
knew
can
actual
name a
of
couple other series
That are that long?
I
One
mean,
Piece. He's gonna
One
go
Piece,
One Piece,
and then you have Lord of the
It's not a
Rings.
movie.
It's a series, and they have movies.
Anyway, the thing about the prequels
14
is
of them actually.
George Lucas wrote and directed them. So it's his actual vision, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can't argue the validity of, why did Anakin? That's what George
That's what
wanted.
George wanted him to do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. Second, it was the original story. That was where it wasn't like he just made up the prequels after the originals. He had the whole story already laid out, and he went from movie company to movie company to movie company trying to sell episode 1, Phantom Menace, and nobody bought it because it was a startup, right? And we're like, who the fuck is, like, what type of universe is this? You know, like, who is this Darth Maul? Who is this fucking hidden phantom guy, you know, like, that's controlling things behind the scenes? What are the Jedi? Why are they so... Nobody understood it. And then it wasn't until he went to Fox and was like, all right, we're going to start with... How about I start with Luke, his son, and Vader? But he didn't even know that Luke was his son in his own creative process.
That's what I've been trying to explain.
He had only gotten that far. He didn't write Empire or Return until he was challenged to after the success of Episode 4. So he had actually written 1, 2, 3, and 4 already out.
Maybe that's why they feel like old movies.
Yeah, because he had actually written those. And instead of him starting at the beginning of the story, he sold it at the end of his story. And then they're like, this is great. And then it took off. And
they're
so
like,
then,
if you like the son, you should see the dad's story.
Then he just went on and wrote Empire.
Why did it take 20 years for the prequels to come out, though?
George.
Yeah, I was going to say CGI, special
maybe
effects.
he wanted... Well, I mean, he did episodes 4, 5, and 6 with very minimal
Actually,
haven't they
CGI.
remastered Star Wars?
No,
more
they
than
didn't
any
actually
other
have any
movie in
CGI until the
world?
remasters.
Correct. 4, 5, and 6 actually were revolutionary
And,
of their time. When that's what
They were using
4,
like
5,
models of the shit, like to blow, like all the explosions were happening like on tiny little
in
things.
live action with like cameras.
It's pretty cool,
on models.
actually.
Yeah.
And that's what created LucasArts and Lucasfilm, was that. And then the creation of Empire. They like all those scenes of like the side of the Death Star were hand painted pallets that were the size of this wall, and then they would fly little models in front of it, and to give you the effect. Like, that's how much production went into it that gave LucasArts and Lucasfilm its right to be the best in the entire industry as far as being a production company.
Yeah, dude. A
Disney
New
wanted
Hope
them.
came out before the Dune movie, and the Dune movie's special effects are garbage.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't even.
You
watch.
talking about with the block fighting?
Dude,
I loved it,
the
bro.
shields? Why?
Shields?
And why does everyone who likes that movie say they like how shitty the shields look?
They're trying to be
That's
hip.
what Laurel says too.
I'm
She's
not
like,
trying
I
to
like
be
it.
hip, but
it's so dumb.
I
When I read
remember-
it, I don't imagine the shield looking like that. I had never even seen the movies or anything when I was reading the book. When I think of a shield, it's like a fucking layer around your body, not a goddamn trapezoid.
The best I can give you is this: being and you're a '90s baby too, so I know you feel this. Before your phone could do 7 other things, it was pretty much just a telephone, and that was the epitome of technology from my mom's generation. So now she doesn't text, she doesn't FaceTime, she calls and she says everything multiple times. You know what I mean? I feel like Star Wars is that. Like, you can't argue it, you can't fight it, you can't force it, because
It's like, hey, have you seen this? It's a rotary phone, but instead it's Star Wars Episode 4.
Right.
yeah, exactly.
You know what this is about.
But you could appreciate it because it was this huge piece of technology that the world had to use and utilize.
Also, the story still holds.
Yeah, you could watch it today, 40 years later,
When
and it's
you
still
watch it
bust.
from the beginning
Still
now,
busting.
you understand the prophecy that Luke and Leia fulfilled through watching the Anakin storyline first.
Oh, for sure. And to know that
You can't forget that Anakin also was part of that prophecy being fulfilled, bruh.
Yes, absolutely.
It's crazy.
And who ultimately brought balance to the Force?
Anakin.
You don't want to say it, do you?
It was Anakin.
It was Rey.
Ray.
It was Rey.
Ray.
Balanced out the light and
It's
the
funny
dark.
because those movies don't even register in my Star Wars lore.
I know. I knew you were gonna.
They really
Bro.
don't, bro.
See, you know how you mentioned like the writing
I'm
and
sorry,
how the
they
writers
don't.
were all the same in
Those are all different.
in Obi-Wan.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's been the same way with the Mandalorian and even the Book of Boba Fett, which, you know, is probably the lowest one on the totem pole.
Yeah, to be fair.
But
It
it's
was
like
it only-
Mandalorian 2.5.
I would say, and this is no shot at Boba Fett. I love him as a character. He is a supporting character. The best part of Boba Fett is when Mandalorian was there.
Yeah. Because you're just like, Mando!
And also when he rode that Rancor, I'm like, bro, that's epic.
That's actually
Like,
pretty cool.
I haven't ever seen no one do that except for like Darth Bane in an expanded universe.
Well, it's funny because it fulfills like this little hidden Easter egg, like during the Star Wars holiday special. The first ever appearance of Boba Fett is in that, but he's an anime drawing, and he's riding this dinosaur.
oh,
and he says
pretty cool.
in the
Oh, I've seen the
that
clip of
two-legged
that.
in the
things,
cartoon where he's like, no one can harness the wild animals like I can, or some bullshit like
That's
that.
because that's
you
what the
know?
Mandalorians were about, man. They're all about that shit. I thought that was cool, you know.
But yeah, so they all had the same writers, but with episodes 7, 8, and 9,
Right.
they not only had different teams of writers, but you had the two different directors.
Who were the-
all
George
at war.
wasn't involved
George
at all.
wasn't involved
They took
at all.
they took
Ray.
they took Ray. Ray was George's idea. They took that, absconded with it.
That's it.
Just
Ray
they're
could-
like, we're gonna keep this, but fuck. He already had wrote the last 3 movies. They were just like, fuck this. We'll keep Girl. Good idea. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Get out of here, old man. Take your 12 billion and get out of here.
Yeah, they like Ray wasn't supposed to be a fucking Palpatine or anything like that. If anything, she was gonna be connected to like Obi-Wan
Bro.
or something.
I'm feeling.
I mean,
y'all.
if-
have the people.
In the Disney timeline, yes, Ray defeated fucking Palpatine because he came back somehow.
I'm trying
Somehow
to stick to the
Palpatine
director
returned.
question because it matters now that
Which
I
wasn't
have
explained.
the knowledge.
He
The new directors, have they wrote any other Star Wars movies? Have they been a part of any other Star Wars
No.
movies?
No.
They were just new and abusing and absconding and
Exactly.
stealing and running
And
off.
J.J. Abrams
Is the closest.
to actually. I think
ones
episode
did he do?
7 had
He did
potential.
the Star Trek.
Is that the one
reboots.
with Luke?
No.
No, that's episode 8. That's the one Ryan Johnson made, which is arguably. I don't know which is. I think the Last Jedi was worse because it wasn't as exciting. There was exciting moments in Rise of Skywalker.
Uh-huh.
There's a couple exciting moments. It just it just felt like people who didn't love Star Wars were making Star Wars. And the actors could tell too. None of those actors who are in those movies, and I've said this before probably, but none of those actors are going to be in Star Wars again because they don't want to, because they had such a bad experience. Reshoots on reshoots, not knowing what's actually coming about in the
Yeah,
scene.
they actually had like 3 different endings. Like if you talk
They
to
didn't
Daisy
know
Ridley-
how. They were trying to treat them like it was an MCU movie or something.
I was gonna say, isn't that like the point?
No,
Back then they didn't know how the movie. They just did what they
Yeah, they
were, and then
did.
they take whatever they
reshoots-
wanted to use, right?
They knew the actors in the old movies knew
When you
how
do
the ending
reshoots,
was.
everyone knows about that shit. Reshoots aren't like a normal thing. Like usually you only do reshoots when someone fucks up, a scene needs to be changed somehow.
You're spending money on
This
production.
was like the actor was like, this is a lot of reshoots. Like they didn't know what was happening in the movie. Like obviously,
And it confirms the worst.
what's this? Oh,
Somehow Palpatine returned.
somehow. How would you quantify,
Somehow.
like in your Mark brain, how Palpatine came back
Okay,
Somehow.
after being thrown?
I will try.
Okay.
The light allowed Yoda, who's lived a very long time, to speak to his dead master. It also allowed Obi-Wan to speak to Qui-Gon.
Okay.
Anakin went to the dark side because he wasn't strong enough, right? So the strength that he looked for was for what reason? To save Padme from death. Now, Darth Maul has died. He's the Padawan to the #1 evil guy who said, Anakin, you killed her, but you killed her because you weren't strong enough. If you'd learned from me, you would have saved her life. So Palpatine's the #1, Anakin's the #2 bad guy, right? Why hasn't Palpatine learned the necessary evil skills to live longer with the dark side of the Force? Why isn't that a possibility?
I'll tell you. The problem with the dark side is while it offers immense powers, more like raw power than the light side, because the light side is usually spread more than the dark side, especially with the rule of 2 being in effect. Sidious was basically like a catalyst for what essentially is like most of the dark side. Like he had most access to the dark side.
That's why
That
dark side
corrupt-
users are so powerful, because there's less of them.
Yeah.
And the light side users were weaker because
you
there
saw,
were greater of them.
Palpatine was injured by his own Force lightning, but the longer you're exposed to the dark side, the more toll it has on your body. That's where you start getting to the expanded universe, where Siths would perform rituals to take the essence of people and basically become immortal.
Isn't
right?
that what he was doing with those
It
lightning?
kind of seemed like that's what he was doing with the people on the planet. My question is, what the only rationalization I could make of how he survived is maybe like he channeled all his pure hatred and anger for not only Vader but also Luke and everything. He could have potentially went into the world beyond worlds or something like that. Use the dark side to teleport, essentially, go through a wormhole to find the home Sith planet or
And
whatever.
that's where I thought it took place at. So I was
They
like,
didn't.
okay.
They didn't explain it.
Explain
so
it. But okay.
I'm having to use my expanded universe knowledge to explain it.
Actually,
Follow
the
where
world
you're going with
Beyond
that.
Worlds isn't expanded universe anymore.
No,
that's canon.
I'm
now.
just thinking of like the possibility
of that action
Yeah.
actually happening.
I guess my ultimate point was the Force allows good and bad to communicate with.
I also think, my bad, he was lying to Anakin for sure about being
Well,
able
yeah,
to resurrect people.
definitely.
He was lying to Anakin 100%.
Dude,
There was
Manipulative.
no way he knew that he could do that. So,
that's
yeah.
that's why he was obsessed with like,
Plagueis was Plagueis, Sidious's master, was actually obsessed with manipulating the living force, and that's how Anakin was born. Like, well, it's actually been written now, so that is true. Plagueis manipulating the force created Anakin. While Plagueis was into all that stuff, Sidious wasn't necessarily.
Well, actually, Sidious saw, when I read the book, there's a Sidious book too, but he saw Plagueis fail so many times trying to do that through the Force that he knew that
It was impossible.
That it was impossible to do it from nothing.
Sheer will.
From sheer will itself. You needed something that was like a dead Jedi. Or something that was...
Yeah,
that
you need like a sacrifice or something.
you needed a sacrifice
That
to
makes
be able
sense.
to access something that was Force wielding in order to hold your essence that's Force wielding.
What? Okay. Knowledge of the Force is what separates Padawans from masters. It's what separates masters from grandmasters. We'll say that, right?
It just separates every level.
Gotcha.
Every level. It like depends on...
Grandmaster is the top guy.
And I feel
he's
that
a political
there are,
and he's a political person because
They're usually the wisest.
They're all the same.
Yoda.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and-
sure.
Okay.
But at the end of Revenge of the
Palpatine-
Sith, Windu was Grandmaster.
Yes. Palpatine masked his
I wouldn't let
evil-
Ki-Adi-Mundi be fucking Grandmaster.
No.
That guy's an
That
idiot.
guy's
He
crazy.
masked his evil aura, energy, and ways from Yoda. Wouldn't that make him?
He what?
He masked his plan and evil ways from Yoda for 3 movies.
The problem with that was the whole time.
2.5.
The whole
like
time
12
that was
years.
happening, that is the big question, right? I think it is possible. It's some deep, dark Sith magic, some Force magic that he probably cloaked himself
This
in.
is why I want to
you know-
rewatch it with
no,
y'all.
you know the
to
explanation
hear
is?
actual Star Wars.
And there was like a
facts.
clouding in the Force or something like
Here's
that.
why. Here's why. Palpatine knew he had to get to one place, Coruscant.
Because that's where the
Jedi Temple was built on the ruins of an ancient Sith temple after the 10,000 year war.
That makes sense. That's what that Black Mirror was that she was.
Like the entire area where the
Had
Jedi
reflected
where the 4 pillars are used to be
that was Tython, bro. I'm not Tython. That was what was the planet Luke was on?
That's not where the Jedi Temple you're talking about is.
We're talking about Coruscant.
no, I'm talking about
Oh, okay.
Coruscant.
Not the
Where the capital of the galaxy, right? Where
You know, where all the shit takes place.
Where all the shit, right? The Jedi Temple is built on the ruins of the ancient Sith temple that used to be there during the 10,000 year war between the Jedi and the Sith. Or was it 1,000, not 10,000?
I think it was 1,000
It was
year
a
war.
1,000-year war.
Wow.
And so, Sidious knew if he can get to Coruscant, he could mask his dark side energy
using
that temple built on top of, or built below the Jedi temple, so where the basically, literally, right underneath their noses. And if he built his operation there, they couldn't detect him. That's why he wanted to get there.
I get that. That's
That's how his and that's how smart fucking Palpatine was.
Yeah, but no, he probably teleported. I mean, that's probably their explanation. I don't know if I would have even brought Palpatine back, bruh.
Bro, I loved
It's
Palpatine from the early on.
They should have just kept Snoke.
I
I just didn't know about
They should have kept
Plagueis.
Snoke. I would have kept
I would've
Snoke.
kept Snoke.
I would have
was lit.
kept Snoke and had him be Palpatine clones. Like someone found like an arm of Palpatine or something and made a bunch of clones of him or something.
Or I would have
Like,
kept Snoke and had him have like Palpatine's essence, but Palpatine was still existed.
oh yeah, maybe his like spirit,
Yeah.
his like his dark side
His
force
dark side
ghost.
force, but
Oh, that'd
Palpatine
be so
still
cool.
existed in like life.
We're creating
support,
lore now.
Life support on Exegol, right? And
Exegol, that's the planet.
yeah, life support on Exegol, and then Snoke would like seek out where Palpatine was and try to kill him. You know, like the rule of two.
Right.
Okay,
Oh,
so
dude.
with the
that'd be
Jedi
great.
restarting and then the number 1 and number 2 dying in the end movie, isn't that literally both sides of the Force having to reset, balance?
Well, it really is.
Yeah, it really is.
It really
Then
is.
the last movie does what it's supposed to do.
It does.
Yeah.
Then you agree that Star Wars is awesome,
Uh,
and you do want to watch the last movie with me.
Mark,
We get.
I will
it
tell you,
got
most
to-
I'm trying to trick him in.
I'm not okay. I'm not saying that there isn't a beginning, middle, and end of the movie.
For sure.
I'm just saying it's not good.
I can't wait to watch him.
There's some moment. Like,
I
I'm gonna
love
call
them.
out all the
I
moments.
love
like,
Solo and
I love Solo too.
man.
I just said it was mid.
So
Yeah,
was
I
great.
know, bro, and I'm
Where Solo's like a 6 to me. Fucking I'd say Force Awakens is a 5.
yeah.
Last Jedi is a 3.
Wait, that's the first one. I like the
Force
bro,
Awakens
the
is a
Millennium
5.
Falcon.
It's a 5.
She was whipping that thing.
Force Awakens is
Ray
higher
beats
for
a
that than me.
master, Kylo Ren, who is a trained Jedi and Sith in single combat. I don't care how mad he was or injured. Like, that's not how it fucking works,
Or that
dude.
he's wielding like this big ass lightsaber. They don't know what the fuck.
I thought
to
the
do with.
lightsaber was cool, but he was swinging it around like a dumbass.
He's swinging it like it was a fucking long sword.
They
you
didn't
know,
actually
like,
start doing any kind of choreography, I feel like, until the last movie. Because, like, I feel like in the last movie, there was some decent choreography, but
With
even
the red
then,
dudes.
there wasn't enough.
It was scattered.
Oh, no, episode 7, the choreography of, my bad, 8. So there's 7, 8, 9. Last Jedi, episode 8. If you go back and watch that throne fight scene, it is probably the worst choreographed Star Wars scene in
when she
history.
throws the lightsaber to him, he catches it. Okay.
Dude, like
Dude's eye.
there's some dudes that will, and this happens a lot in martial arts. People will, like 3 people will go in, and then 4 will stay on the outskirts to wait for their opportunity. Right? That makes sense to me. I'm cool with that. But there's one dude who he'll attack Rey once and then back up and just start spinning. While 3 other guys start coming.
That's true.
After this, we're gonna watch the throne room fight scene.
Just watch like all the guys that are
Dude.
just standing there waiting. Just like
I'm gonna tell you, Mark. I thought the throne room fight scene, because I'm a pleb when it comes to like martial arts. I thought it was lit at first until I watched it the second time slower, and I'm like, holy shit, this is all just a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, bro, in the movie theater when fucking she raises her fucking hand and the fucking blue lightsaber hits that motherfucker, Snoke is in half and falls down. I'm like, yeah.
I honestly did think that moment was cool, like
That was
killing
fucking
Snoke.
cool. But then after you think about it, like,
But they were just like,
why
wait,
did you just kill Snoke? He's got to be alive still.
right, exactly. I'm like, oh, they're trying to subvert our expectations. That happens a lot in movies, but that wasn't a good time to do it.
It's all about the end result, man. And
And the
sometimes,
result is
sometimes
OMG.
episode
See,
3, 4, and
I think that like
6 suck, but it's all about 5.
I think like Kathleen
Never,
Kennedy
never.
took Ray.
about to
It was like, we're gonna do whatever we want with Ray, and we're gonna empower
She's so
her.
strong,
She's
here you
so
go.
strong. She's bad. Yeah.
Y'all are talking about
And
Hawkeye,
then-
right?
No,
Talking
Ray.
about fucking-
Talking about Kate, right?
Kate Bishop was awesome,
Kate
bro.
Bishop
She had
was
been
awesome,
training.
dude.
She had been training. She was a professional archer already.
She
Yeah.
whooped the biggest drug lord in the tri-state
Okay,
area. First,
I'm
no
not,
try.
I'm not arguing that.
Okay,
Okay,
yeah.
that was whack. But okay, I need to rewatch to argue this further. But she was badass.
She was a
pretty cool.
terrorist.
I think she was.
Wait,
shut
just-
up! Like what the fuck?
She was from the first.
We're
scene,
bouncing
she
all
was-
over the place.
I
Now
know,
we're talking
she
about
Trespassed
Hawkeye.
on
Just
school
'cause
I
grounds.
thought Hawkeye was really
destroyed
fun.
school buildings.
I thought Hawkeye was really fun because
was
I
cool.
love Christmas time and it was a Christmassy movie.
See, I hate
And-
Christmas time, so I was already like,
Shut up. It was great. Like the scene
musical
on the
scene at
ice
the
rink.
end was cool.
The scene on the ice rink, epic.
oh, you're right.
Oh,
yeah.
the fight scene where the tree fell.
Bro, I mean, Kingpin's had. I know this is a bad example, but Spider-Man, when he was new to being Spider-Man, whoop Kingpin's ass.
He was pulling on the web
he-
of fate, bro.
Alright.
What did
That
Kate
didn't
have?
even exist at the time. It was
What
the
did Kate
60s.
have?
This Kingpin is the same.
It was the
Kingpin.
60s. He was the one who had the little cane, goddamn bowler cap. It was the same Kingpin that they were portraying in Hawkeye.
In Hawkeye, yeah.
Actually, let me
You
stop
need a drink,
lying.
bro. You need a drink.
Let me stop lying. Spider-Man got his ass whooped by Kingpin
Several
initially.
times.
No, like he got his ass whooped once, and then Spider came back and actually whooped his ass.
I've always liked Kingpin. You had to respect his hustle.
Dude, he's human. He in the comics, he's got a wife and kid that he loves, but his kid like either died
Or
and
is really sick.
No, I think his kid died,
Ooh,
and
of
his wife
cancer?
hates him. But he like still loves his wife, and it's actually pretty sad. And he's like the head of the mafia and shit. And he's doing all this crime and getting thwarted by Spider-Man, and it's like
He's basically
kinda
Jabba the
sad,
Hutt.
but he's
He's like,
still
"I
like a
love my
bad.
boy."
No, he's not like Jabba the Hutt.
He's
What the
the
fuck?
big gangster on the
Hutt's
planet.
Jabba the Hutt is terrible.
That's Kingpin.
Kingpin doesn't put people in slavery.
That
Jabba the
is
Hutt
true.
His henchmen know they're gonna have to fight Spider-Man.
Spider-Man doesn't kill people. He purposely doesn't kill. He has before in certain in the main comic book in the original Amazing Spider-Man. Bro, Spider-Man
talking
does
about-
not kill people.
For sure.
If there's a margin of error of like 1% for superheroes to accidentally kill henchmen, Spider-Man gets a pass, bro, because
He doesn't
like,
kill
in
the
in
Green
So does
Spider-Man-
Homelander, bro.
in the Spider-Man game, when you like knock a guy off the building, it's actually funny because
That's a
if you
video
go and look,
game,
he's
bro.
like, "Oh shit, he fell off the building." No, he's stuck to the wall.
like hanging there.
He's hanging. I'm like, bro, what the? Spider-Man's great.
That's a video game.
You know how
not
much
real
mental
life,
like,
dude.
you know how much mental bandwidth it probably takes to like not kill all these dudes while whooping their ass and still working on the object. Because that's the thing.
he's
Spider-Man's
super
always
strong.
doing like 10 things at once. Yeah, Spider-Man is up there in strength. Like he can.
He
There's
can
this.
barely punch you in the face and
Like he
cave in
holds
your
back
head.
on all his punches because if he actually went all out on a punch to a dude, he'd just blow their jaw off, like just like. Yeah,
Spider's just super
I like how you
strong.
changed the subject. From
They're
Star Wars
relatively
real
strong.
fucking quick.
It wasn't
You're
on purpose
losing.
because I no.
Oh, but let's. So we were talking about Star
Losing.
Wars. I'm on Rotten Tomatoes right now
Oh no.
Here we
pull up-
go.
because honestly, I think the prequels might be reviewed worse than the new movies.
Yeah, because of the critic score.
Yeah, well, because of the audience score.
Really?
Or maybe the critics. Let's look it up.
I would say the critics.
So we'll just start with A New Hope. A New Hope.
We've already decided that Star Wars fans are mean because they're comparing the best story in the world
No, they're
to everything else.
No, they're
The
mean
problem
because
with
of
any
episode
fandom, Mark,
8.
Here's the problem with any fandom, and I know this because I watch anime and read manga. Bruh, nerds can be toxic. Some people can be toxic, and there's toxic nerds. Like, there's like 30% of any fan base that you do not want to be near. Like, they're the type
Toxic
of people
nerds.
who
You don't wanna be
are
around
like
them.
diehard Naruto fans, but they've never seen like anything else. So they talk shit about everything else. Like it's shit like that. And it's similar with shit like Star Wars and Star Trek. Like Star Trek and Star Wars was like the original like anime beef, like between Naruto and One Piece. People would talk shit about Star Trek. People
Star
would
Trek was
talk
first.
shit about
Fucking
Star Wars.
Trekkies.
I don't care if it was first. Star Wars is still
First,
cooler.
man, it was Captain Kirk, baby.
I think
Star Wars was
Trek,
cooler. Star
I
Trek
think-
was more accurate.
I think Star Trek is more intriguing because there's all this like this could be potentially possible. Like
yeah, like
like the replicator and all that, and the different planet and how each planet's like hierarchy works.
yeah, and their job was to not like go and invade. It was to go and discover and
right.
explore.
Non-interference like policy.
Yeah, like if you get to a planet and you know it's about to explode or
You gotta
implode,
leave.
you gotta leave, and you can't let anybody know. You can't change the course of history.
It was, it's a vast
to
difference, but it's
discover,
still
bro.
good quality.
So, Star Wars Episode 4, 93% tomato meter,
Ooh, sir.
96% audience score. So very solid. It ain't no Toy Story, but it's solid. So,
Ain't no
yeah, this
Toy
makes
Story.
sense. Actually, hold on. Yeah.
Episode
Empire
5,
is literally 1% better on both points.
I'm about to say.
94% tomato, 97% audience.
arguably the best movie of the
It is
series.
a-
A lot of people,
It's everyone's favorite.
Talking about
except for mine, I'm
Mine's
Return.
Return,
I'm
which is
Return.
only 83%. Rotten Tomatoes.
It's those
which
goddamn Ewoks, bro.
I think, yeah, it's the Ewoks people don't like. I'm like, bro, what the fuck?
Why?
What's wrong with the Ewoks?
With little indigenous teddy bears that are vicious if you try to invade.
I'm like, does every alien species have to be savage?
You're like, right? Like
They probably eat people if you allowed them
they
to.
did. They were trying to eat Han and Luke.
That's just creepy.
They're even trying to eat R2, and he's metal. They're savages.
All right, so
bro.
of the three, the originals, Empire scores better. So,
I'm not shocked. Let's go to the prequels, shall we?
oh god, Phantom Menace.
The worst of the prequels, but I
Oh.
loved it. What is it?
Oh,
Thank you for reading these scores.
Episode 1, 51%.
Boom.
I knew it. I knew it'd be like that.
And 59% audience score. The audience didn't like it either.
Jar
I think
Jar.
episode 2 is going to be worse. Bro, I love Jar Jar. I don't care what anyone says.
Jar Jar, he's fucking evil. He was
Can't
originally
please
supposed
everybody,
to be
but the
Darth
story-
Jar Jar.
I admire the continuity of the story.
Yeah, agreed.
All the way up to the end. You know.
Episode 2 is 66% and 56%.
They were like, we'll show you how cool the Force looks and how good the ships are.
I really liked episode 2. The love story. I loved the Geonosis.
And then episode 3 is 79%, 66%.
My favorite line from episode 3.
The audience didn't like it as much as Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, I guess not, which is weird. That's odd. It doesn't happen very much.
Favorite line from episode 3 is when Obi-Wan drops in on
course.
General Grievous. Hello there.
Of course, the new movies all have good scores.
You were saying they were bad.
I think they're bad.
admiring the continuity.
I think they're
because-
bad Star Wars, but they're good movies.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna. And I was trying to say that earlier. Like, yes, sure, it's a good movie. It's not a good Star Wars movie. Like they could have just made a different franchise with this money.
You could have did this with any other
Read the
space
scores.
franchise.
Dude, the score doesn't mean
You
shit.
read all of the other ones. Read the new one.
I already did. I just said. Oh no, I didn't. Sorry, 93%,
Oh, Rotten
85% audience.
85 audience.
Yeah. I think Last Jedi is gonna be worse though. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure. No. Oh yeah, no. 91% tomato meter, 42% audience score. So the critics are like, "This is a good movie." The audience is like, "This movie fucking sucks."
Not only that, they
And I remember I did say episode 7 was good, was decent in my
Yeah,
opinion.
I mean, for what it was with episode 7, I'm like, yes, they copied A New Hope, but I mean, it's like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If you're trying to get a new generational audience in there.
See, now this is where my
trying to
tastes
get more
come into
girls
line.
to watch
Because
that.
a lot of times I think how the critics are thinking. Because a lot of time the audience score is reflective of how much someone, the
fans,
fandom enjoys it. So Rise of Skywalker tomato meter's 52%, and audience score 86%. So the last movie of the new trilogy I think is rated worse than
Then episode 1.
the other
by
episode.
critics. And
By
then
critics.
the audience is like, okay, I see it.
Because at this point,
No, dude, I've come to grips that a lot of the Star Wars fan base don't like the prequels or think they're good.
Oh no, not that. I don't agree with that. I think it's leveled, right? So like, the people that are like my age and older, mainly older, because I'm in the generation where I like the prequels, right? I like them for what they were. When I was a kid, could you believe it? I was getting new fucking Star Wars. My dad, all he did was flaunt the original trilogy. You know, it was like, hey, we had this last one's in 1980 fucking
Yeah,
five.
and it's
you,
like,
you
bro.
know, you're not gonna get this shit. And you know,
Bitch, what?
this is Star Wars. This is what I grew up with. And so you just like had Star Wars like on such a high pedestal, and then you thought, now I'm getting new Star Wars. And I remember sitting in the movie theater. I've seen every single Star Wars movie in the movie theater. Before episode 1 was released, they digitally remastered episodes 4, 5, and 6 and released them in the movie theaters. So my dad took me to the movies because he said, I saw all the Star Wars in the movie theaters. You will too. So I've seen every single Star Wars motion picture in the movie theaters.
Yeah.
So I remember sitting in during episode 1, my dad watched and he's like, it's like, you know, like moving around in his chair. And he like really didn't fucking like it. And it's like that generation, the generation from the 70s and 80s and early 90s, you know, that grew up with it. They're the ones that really don't like the fucking prequels.
My mom and dad fell asleep
Yeah.
because I went to see Phantom Menace in the theaters. I'm like, They're like,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
the same way about hip hop.
So it's like it's a generational thing, right?
Yeah.
So my generation through
Solo is mid, 69% tomato, 64% audience.
that's definitely a mid. What about Rogue One? Rogue One was
Rogue One's
awesome.
good. Rogue One's good.
So it's like
Why is it not recommended here?
so now when these sequel movies come out, all right? Now we have another 15-year gap between movies. And so now you have this younger generation. What was Rogue
84% and 86%.
One? That was solid.
Solid movie.
So
It made me feel for the characters. I
Man.
remember a lot of the
Blue
Rogue One.
Squadron, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I am one with the Force. The Force,
Force is with me. I am one with the
Donnie,
Force. The
yeah,
Force is
man.
with me. But yeah, so now you have this new generation, and the whole point of what Disney was trying to do is like, we're gonna get kids from the 40-year-olds that exist now into Star Wars. So what did they do? They did a blueprint of Episode 4 to get them back into.
That is true.
We gave y'all a
to get
Force
back
female.
Awakens
into-
is essentially just a New Hope.
It's just a new
But
hope,
not as good.
with Han dying, which is stupid.
Yeah, which is honestly the biggest fucking crock of shit I could ever think of.
Han should be dead by now.
I agree.
You should be dead. I should come across this
Think about
fucking
this.
table.
No. Think about this. Nucky Thompson died because why?
I haven't gotten there yet.
Okay.
You said Nucky Thompson, so you just spoiled
Han
a
Solo
show I recommended to
dies. No, Han Solo
He just said it.
dies because all the stuff all the bad
character from
things he
Boardwalk
did
Empire.
catches up with him. That's how it works, bro. You don't get to start off robbing people and end dying in your sleep. No, bro.
Han Solo
What
didn't-
galaxy does that happen in?
Han Solo didn't die in his sleep.
I know. That's what I'm saying. He
No,
should
he's-
be dead. Like
he's
he doesn't
saying-
get to die in his sleep.
All right.
He started off.
You know what? You know the reason why Han Solo
Rob-
died in that movie?
He's not. No, he was not.
He started off as an orphan. The lady who took in the
I
orphans
mean,
and
yeah,
made them
he
steal.
was was basically a slave.
You
I
wanna
get
know
it.
why Han
Stealing
Solo
'cause
died
you're
in that
poor
movie?
doesn't mean it's not stealing.
I'm just saying.
You wanna
It
know why?
justifies it a little bit.
You want to know why Han Solo died in that movie? Because Harrison Ford was done with Star Wars.
And then he crashed the plane.
He actually, I think he said, "I won't come on unless you kill me" or something like
Yeah,
that.
he said, "I won't do it unless you kill me," and so they had to do it.
They coulda
Whatever-
did it better.
They
I
could have did it better. Whatever director they did.
by his son, because his son.
Yeah, but then his son was redeemed. Like all that shit was undone.
And then you had the Ghost of Han. Like, what was that about? Like,
Yeah,
he's
he's
not a
not
Force
force
user.
sensitive. Like that doesn't make any fucking
like,
sense.
it would have made sense.
They just
if, like,
made up rules in those movies. Like
His son wouldn't be force sensitive, y'all think?
Kylo, yes, but
Kylo
Han,
was only
no.
fucking force sensitive because Leia was his mom. You goof.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. It didn't make sense that he's
Han-
force sensitive.
No.
Han is not force sensitive.
So he can't.
He shouldn't have a force ghost.
He can't transubstantiate into a Force ghost.
But
'cause
they
he's
were
not a
trying to
Force
say
user.
that they were trying to say everyone has the force.
Yeah, the power-
but only Jedi fucking masters
The force
previously.
lives in all living.
Yeah,
The force is
how
in
is
all
some
living
dude
things.
who's never once
It
used the
binds us.
force gonna create a force ghost when goddamn Yoda could
he
barely
was
do it?
connected to one of the most strongest
Qui-Gon was only
Sure.
able.
force wielding beings in the galaxy.
So was fucking Finn.
FN
I wouldn't be
2187. I love this
So
guy.
was
Oh,
so
man.
are hundreds of other nameless
But
characters
he
that
didn't
were
have-
connected to the
he didn't
goddamn.
have years of experience with their partner that we don't know about.
So you're
he
saying
did it with Leia.
you're
Yeah, that
saying
is true.
because
We don't know what happened
So,
in those 20 years.
here's what
yada,
happened.
yada.
Just found out what Leia did when she was
But
a
he
kid.
didn't seem any fucking different.
it's because he nutted in Leia.
Shut up.
Like he nutted
Yeah,
in
that's
the
Jedi
Leia.
force
pee.
went into
The
him.
fluid
That Jedi
transfer,
pee,
the
yeah.
fluid transfer. You know, what I'm
I didn't like
talking
him.
about?
I didn't like him. I actively don't seek to go watch them again, and
That's what I-
that's my true sign that I don't like a movie.
I don't like watching the 3 with Luke without other Star Wars fans.
You don't like watching the original with Luke?
I don't like watching them without other Star Wars fans.
It's because you need the energy where it's like, this is why he's doing this and this is why he's doing
Yes.
that. I totally get
Why
that.
do you need that, bro?
I want to
because-
watch it with y'all because it brings it to life.
It's an experience at that point. Like I get chicks to watch Star Wars movies because I get them, like, even if they're already Star Wars fans, it's awesome because then now
Super
like
easy.
yeah, so now let's start with Phantom Menace and let's go through there and let's get through the lore and you know and it make
What if
it's
she
just-
hates the prequels?
she would love the prequels by the end of watching them with me. I
Right.
guarantee it, because you can explain every.
the almost director's commentary. Like,
Correct. you can just
right.
feel my love
I do
and
that shit
passion.
all the time too.
I do it with sports too. Like if you watch a baseball game with me and you don't know anything about baseball, I just love, and you're willing for it. I love, like, the reason why he threw that is because the next pitch is going to be this, and they're trying to get inside his head, and I can explain the finite parts of the game, which most people they're just watching. They're just like, they're just throwing the ball.
He's gonna try to throw the strike.
They're just trying to throw a strike,
Yeah.
and it's like, no, there's a whole strategy going on in between.
I think that
these two
guy's trying to
guys.
throw the ball.
I think he is, and he's trying to hit it.
That guy, he's definitely trying to hit it. And you see that guy over there? Look out for him. He's trying to run.
But yeah, I can make it enjoyable where you can sit and watch a game. Like,
And
you
what game
enjoyed
are we talking
watching baseball with me when we went on my birthday.
Yeah, that
right?
game was fun.
That was fun,
It's a good
I
team.
thought it was boring.
and we ended up winning too.
We,
That
bro, we
was,
smashed them.
smashed on them.
Smash.
Uh-oh. No.
I made tamales, but I ate them all.
How do you make tamales?
They were skinny too.
Why'd you stop?
Did you get a call or text or something?
No, I'm on airplane mode.
Dang.
Well, sorry, podcast people.
I have plenty of storage. I don't understand.
We might not be doing a video this week. This was a great Star Wars argument too. I would hate for it.
keeping this episode.
I would hate for it to go to
We're
waste.
just not using video. We're
Yeah.
just gonna go with the fucking ambient background or whatever. Fuck it. I'm almost fucking over doing video until we get a good camera.
Yeah, until something consistent.
This shit's annoying.
But a lot of our viewers really love when we argue about Star Wars.
Well, I mean, that's why I don't mind arguing about it.
And Mark,
It does suck that the
surprised he really
prequels
hates
are rated so shitty. I mean, they're not. I mean, I'm not gonna defend
Here's
them
the-
and say they're fucking.
here's the thing
Oscar
about
winning.
those ratings, though. Those ratings are based on old statistics. People are not like watching episode 1 and like, I'm gonna go on for the first
right?
time.
Because there's only like 200 reviews for it.
Right? They're not. Look at the date of the last review.
How long has Rotten Tomatoes even been around?
Probably since the internet.
Since the internet.
Like whenever you think like, how long has the website been around? You're like, yeah, it can't have been around past 2009. Then you look and it's like 1997. What the fuck?
98.
See?
So yeah, it would have been out by then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people would have been using it.
Dang.
So it's like you show somebody episode 1, they're not jumping on Rotten Tomatoes and voting for you.
See, here's what I don't understand about this fucking video. Last week I recorded a 55-minute video, no problem.
No problem whatsoever.
I deleted that video on my phone.
So you have the memory space
Yeah.
there.
And then 38 minutes go by, it stops recording. Why did that happen?
Was your phone in airplane mode?
It was in airplane mode.
So then there's no excuse.
No, exactly.
Just did it because it wanted to.
It was your hair, bro. You walked in with your hair.
No, he walked in at like 10 minutes. So.
I know.
All right, well, I guess we'll just go ahead and end the episode here.
We end it with we win with Star Wars.
We win.
What do you mean we win?
Because we're getting, so your friend that watched Rogue One into episode 4, which I commend him. That's the best way to get into, like, it's literally like when
No,
you,
he started from
he started from the episode 1.
3, 4, 5.
Oh, you watched him as God intended.
God intended, yeah. It sucks that you skip Clone Wars, but I mean, you can go back and just like
You can honestly watch Clone Wars after you love Star Wars, and you'll get such an appreciation out of it.
What you do is you-
honestly, I think you'll eventually. You've watched Clone Wars, right? All of it.
I'm on season 4. I know there's 7 seasons, and
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't want to just watch the last one, so I was like,
bro, the 7th season
Honestly,
is
bro, it starts to. I don't know, man. I'm not saying every episode is a banger, like, because it's a fucking animated show, but
Right.
like most episodes are decent, like, and a lot of them are amazing.
bro, episode 6 is brilliant. I mean, season 6 is brilliant. There's
Season
a lot
6
of,
is amazing.
and then
Yeah.
season 7, they went back and did that.
that's the setup for Order 66.
Yeah, it was
it's
literally like
so
it's
sad,
It's
dude.
like right when Order 66 starts is when season 7.
Ahsoka Vader, bro, like it's a
You even
bang.
get to see how Kanan Jarrus lives.
Yes, like
From Rebels.
from Rebels.
Okay.
Like it's
I was-
and Bad Batch starts right at the end of season
Oh yeah,
7 Clone
Maybe,
Wars.
No, it's Bad Batch that I was thinking of that starts right at Order 66.
Right at Order
Season
66.
7 starts before. It's like I think it's before episode 3.
Yeah.
Like right before episode 3.
Right before
or
episode 3. But bad
which makes
starts.
sense why Ahsoka's not in episode 3. It's actually kind of clever how they do that.
Dave Filoni.
Because it's between episode 2 and 3, there was like a 10-year gap.
Right.
Where all the Clone Wars happens. So that's a perfect time to nestle a bunch of characters that could have an impact on Anakin, especially like Ahsoka.
Yeah, and that's why like
That's genius.
Anakin's reputation, like when he walks into episode 3, he's like Anakin fucking Skywalker, right? He's known across the galaxy. How? Because in episode 2, he was just Obi-Wan's Padawan. No one knew who the
And
fuck he
you
was.
know, a lot of people don't know this, but the Emperor manipulated Anakin's career in the Clone Wars. He made sure Anakin was at the forefront of every major conflict and anything that had to do
Even
with
politically
putting him
bailed him out on the backside where
Yeah.
nobody knew.
He did that all to make sure Anakin was seen as the hero of the Republic.
The chosen one.
Yeah, and it was crazy, and it was mostly just to get in his head.
So, yeah, the Clone Wars are really good. What I would recommend, and if you didn't want to watch the whole thing, you can go on YouTube and just type in
Oh, you're talking about the episodes that you gotta see?
episodes you gotta see, Clone Wars. Do the same thing for Rebels because you need to see the world between worlds, at least seasons 3 and
So
4.
Clone Wars is a lot of times like an anthology.
Yeah.
There's some episodes, like it'll be like 5 episodes and this is like a scenario, and then there'll be another 5 episodes that happen like maybe like a week ago or maybe like a month from now. So not every storyline is coinciding with every storyline. So there's not like a central
Order that you need.
yeah,
to,
there's
like,
not really like an order you need to watch them in. You can look up the important episodes and watch those.
Yeah.
Because some of them will be groups of important episodes, like 4 episodes here, and then you can watch these 2 episodes. You need to watch these 4
It
episodes.
it is a list of like 15, 20 episodes that you should watch, but instead of watching 150, you can just watch these 30
Yeah, it really
episodes.
is 150 episodes.
Yeah.
I just watched 150 episodes of Hunter x Hunter, like in the past couple weeks, and I loved it. And then I caught up in the manga, and the manga's been on hiatus for 3 years.
Whoa, that's not good.
Do you realize what that means?
It's
There
done?
hasn't been. No, it's coming back.
Oh.
They actually just recently released that they're coming back. But a lot of the Hunter x Hunter fans, and this is why I had read like 2 or 3 volumes of the Hunter x Hunter manga in high school, like 2 or 3 books, and I was like, I know this motherfucker, because the creator is known for he has back problems, and he is like. There's like this myth that he's like lazy. It's like procrastinating. Like he's not lazy
It's
because
all
he's a
part of
manga.
the story.
But he is notorious for going on hiatus, and that's not part of the story. The back pain is not. Like he'll go on like a year-long hiatus because he can't fucking sit in his chair and draw.
Jesus.
And I mean, it's a serious health problem he has, and he's been on a 3-year hiatus. A lot of Hunter x Hunter fans are like apprehensive because they think we're gonna get like 10 chapters, and then it's gonna go on like another year-long hiatus or whatever. Because I mean, you don't understand this, bro. Creating manga is probably creatively, like in art, one of the most intensive processes out there. It's
'cause
it's highly
like-
stressful.
It's like just
The
one
deadline-
person doing it, right?
Well, you have editor. A professional mangaka would usually have. He's usually doing the primary primary penciling and drawing out the storyboards and all that. But a lot of times you have people doing the dialogue. You have people doing the dialogue. You have people doing the panels. Like Oda doesn't draw those.
Right,
He
but
doesn't ink his shit. Someone else inks it.
But it's still all old school. They don't do like comics here in America. They don't do that shit like that anymore.
Some manga, a lot of new manga, they draw it digitally. You can really tell when a manga is drawn digitally because the quality doesn't waver page to page.
Right.
And you can really tell that when someone's drawing hand drawn. There's a lot of creators like Oda, for example, he has such a consistent art style. Like there's not been many Oda, the creator of One Piece, there's not a lot of chapters where there's like, what the fuck is wrong with the art here? Like I can't tell what's going on. There's no background. Like what the fuck is the scene? But Hunter x Hunter, there's some panels. It's a page of text. It's like comic boxes.
Yeah.
But instead of there actually being pictures and illustration, there's just text. So and then there are some times where the bodies are crudely drawn or terribly drawn. Like the guy's an amazing artist, but to get like the quality of art
He's like,
that
I'm
that
using
like
my
Berserk
iPad.
or something like that, you gotta spend a lot of time. Like, it's like they'll spend 12 hours a day just drawing. And people
like,
are scared that he's
I'm
gonna end up
drawing on
going on
my-
hiatus again because he's not the most healthy mangaka out there.
He needs to get himself an iPad Pro, you know, where he can.
I don't think
kinda,
he
stick it
draws,
up,
bro.
like, yeah,
he
but
draws
He could draw like this
on paper. You can't, bro. Especially when you've been doing it for, you know, the guy who made Hunter x Hunter made Yu Yu Hakusho.
No, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
he made Yu Yu Hakusho. Yeah, believe it or not. But yeah, that my main fear is that he
He dies.
yeah, I mean, but he's married to the Sailor Moon, the creator of Sailor Moon. So she would pick up the mantle for him.
Ooh.
It would suck. It happened with the guy who made Berserk. The guy who made Berserk died. And his homeboy is like picking up the mantle now because the story is not fucking finished. It's something I fear about with One Piece. Like I made this joke in high school. I'm like, hopefully I don't die or Oda doesn't die before the story's over.
Yeah, otherwise Luffy's fucked.
I heard there was
What
some.
did you say?
Otherwise Luffy would be
Who?
fucked.
Luffy.
Duffy, Muffy.
You know,
Why-
Luffy.
You got that off a Facebook video.
Nah, I'm
Yeah,
just
you did.
saying.
It's Luffy.
It's Luffy.
It's Luffy.
It's Luffy.
It's
It's Luffy.
It's Lufa and it's Luffy.
No,
it's Muffin.
it's Luffy.
It's Luffy.
It's
And
Luffy.
it's okay. It's okay.
No. It's Luffy, bro.
It's not okay, bro.
We can. Why?
It's not tortilla. It's not quesadilla.
All right, so we're gonna go down the list again. Muffin. Muffin.
Luffy is not an English word.
What about my boy Ben Affleck?
Shut up. We're ending the episode here.
Duffy. Duffy.